Whew. We are not only here to talk and shove it under the carpets, but we are here to shake and change those parliaments, houses that we all represent as in this room. The minister has challenged us that we all write to our ministers, our parliaments, to shake their houses and see Palestine to be free in our lifetime. Thank you very much, Ma. And we thank you for representing us so well. Today, South Africa, we are proud. And I stand tall and I say, I am a South African and I represent and show solidarity to all the Palestinians. It's all because of you and your government. Thank you. Before we go for break, I have just two things. One announcement is that today it's Friday, there is a prayer room that has been prepared for all our Muslim brothers and sisters. It's in conference room 2 on the 4th floor. So you go up the escalators during your prayer time. It has all been prepared in conference room 2 on the 4th floor. Thank you. And there is someone who is currently missing their parking ticket. So if you have missed your parking ticket, please come and check it with me because you won't have your car or you'll pay an exorbitant amount. During the South African time, the South African apartheid time, the World Council of Churches took a stand and listened to the cries of the people on the ground. And it took that cry and took it into the pews of the churches to make sure that today, as South Africans, we stand tall and say we are free. In the room, we have Dr. Kenneth Mtata, who represents the World Council of Churches, who will today again stand here and say greetings to this room, but also remind us that the reverends, the people of the men of the cloth and the women of the cloth, they can still take a word to their pews and make sure that Palestine is also free. Please welcome Dr. Kenneth Mtata as he brings greetings from the World Council of Churches.
Program Director, former South African President, His Excellency President Mbeki, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. Naledi Pandor, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee of this Anti-Apartheid Conference on Palestine, Reverend Frank Chikane. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I greet you on behalf of the World Council of Churches. The World Council of Churches has been seized with the plight of the Palestinian people from its founding days in the 1940s. Processes that accompany the Palestinian people, the concrete presence and continued creation of space for deliberation and mobilization of churches to support the Palestinian people has been ongoing work. But today, the World Council of Churches and the broader ecumenical movement find themselves in a challenging situation where the deepened violence and dehumanization demonstrated in Gaza challenge the moral integrity of the churches. What should the World Council of Churches do, together with its partners, to make sure that just peace is realized in Palestine and Israel? In June 2022, the World Council of Churches Central Committee noted with concern the continued discrimination against Palestinians, the overt and systemic ongoing almost half a century occupation that contradicts equal human dignity and rights of Palestinians living under systems of control, while the response of the international community continues to reflect egregious double standards. The Central Committee also expressed its profound regret that many and insurmountable obstacles were being placed in the way of long-standing commitment, desire for just peace and a two-state solution in accordance to international resolutions established in WCC policy. Inspired by the reports of various civil society organizations, the WCC identified the need to reflect on what a sector of its membership has called a system of apartheid, which defines what is now characterizing the relationship of Israel and Palestine. This was a major departure from past positions of the World Council of Churches, where in the past it was not possible to reflect the relationship between Palestine and Israel as an apartheid relationship. There was also a discussion on whether the two-state solution could still be the basis of advocacy towards Palestine and Israel's coexistence. The Assembly statement entitled "Seeking Justice and Peace for All in the Middle East" called for the following position: the Worldwide Ecumenical Fellowship of Churches must consult and reflect on alternative policy, perspective, and comprehensive solution for Palestine and Israel, where all people have equal rights before the law, as opposed to the current system of control, exclusion, and marginalization of the Palestinian people. I am here today on behalf of the World Council of Churches to lend support to the reflections that are going to take place here, but also to draw insights on this conference so that this can inform the direction the World Council of Churches are going to take. So I bring greetings and seek to draw our insights from three areas. First, we hope that the deliberations that are going to take place here will help the World Council of Churches clarify but also debunk the theological and ideological assumptions that inform the church's relationship to Israel, which does not see the injustices being suffered by Palestine. Actually, as we are gathered here, we know that there are many African churches that do not see the relationship between Israel and Palestine as problematic. And I am glad Reverend Frank Chikane referred to the invitation that he has made to these churches. We need to confront the theological assumptions that see Israel as a superior actor in its relationship to Palestine. The second, we believe that the World Council of Churches is going to benefit from this conference in that we are desiring to reclaim the international human rights law and the overall policy coherence and consistent position on Palestine. We can see that what we are dealing with today is not only a legal issue, but also a moral indictment on the multilateral system. We are here to lend our support to the leadership of South Africa. South African government and its people who have taken the risk of standing up for the human rights as the basis for which nations must relate. For some of us who come from Southern Africa, it is a moment of pride to be identified with the courage and the moral integrity of South Africa. Third, we are also here as the World Council of Churches to contribute to the building of this global movement towards the freedom and the liberation of Palestine. The World Council of Churches is not new in participating in movement building that support the liberation of peoples. South Africa and indeed Southern Africa are beneficiaries of the program to combat racism that saw the dismantling of the apartheid system and the colonization that affected our region, including my own country, Zimbabwe. So we are here to make sure that we draw from the past experiences, but also to listen to the conversations towards the realization of building this moral movement against apartheid. Let me, on behalf of the World Council of Churches, congratulate you for this important conference, and from which the World Council of Churches is going to greatly benefit. As we deliberate, we are reminded of the words of the prophet Micah. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly before our God. Yes, we are burning with justice because we want to see Palestine free. We are compassionate because we are broken to see children, women, and innocent people being killed every day. We are humble because we know that this struggle may take long, and we will be patient in support for the freedom of the Palestinian people. Wish you the best as you deliberate at this conference. Thank you.